You walk into a room with a clear purpose, but by the time you cross the threshold, the thought is gone, having slipped through your fingers like fine sand. Or perhaps you find yourself staring at a familiar face, searching for a name that sits right on the tip of your tongue, yet refuses to be spoken. In these moments, a quiet, instinctive panic often sets in. We live in a society where we frequently equate our memories with our very identity, viewing any lapse as a loss of ourselves. This fear is driven by a specific misconception that human memory should operate like a digital hard drive, a machine designed to perfectly record every passing second of our lives. In reality, the mind is an organic system. It functions as a complex library that is endlessly curated over decades of experience. As the years pass, the pace of this curation changes. Occasional forgetting is not a sign of a broken system. It is the natural evolution of an aging brain, prioritizing what is necessary while letting go of the rest. To understand why this happens, we have to look at the physical architecture of the brain itself. Deep inside the brain lies the hippocampus, the control center that takes daily experiences and encodes them into our mental archive. But beginning in our late 30s, the overall volume of the brain shrinks. The hippocampus is particularly vulnerable, slowly losing a fraction of its mass and thousands of microscopic neural connections. Because of this structural change, the internal pathways required to reach a specific memory become narrower. The biological hardware is aging, which means encoding and retrieving information takes more time. This slowdown also occurs at the cellular level. Billions of neurons communicate with one another across microscopic gaps called synapses. They never physically touch. Instead, they communicate using an exchange of chemical messengers known as neurotransmitters. These chemicals, such as acetylcholine and dopamine, are the foundation for how we learn and how we lock a fleeting moment into a permanent record. As the years advance, the brain's natural production of these chemicals tapers off. Not only is there a lower volume of these messengers, but the cellular receptors designed to catch them also become less sensitive to the signals. This explains why you might know exactly what you want to say, yet struggle to find the precise word. The memory remains stored in the library, but the chemical signals required to retrieve it have grown softer. This shift also affects how we process the world around us. You may find it increasingly difficult to absorb new information in a noisy room or juggle multiple tasks at once. This is a change in working memory, the brain's mental scratch pad where we hold new information just long enough to use it. A youthful working memory acts as an efficient filter, blocking out background noise to maintain a tight focus on a single task. Over time, these neural filters become more porous. The mental scratch pad becomes cluttered as ambient distractions bleed through, scattering the spotlight of attention. When the focus required to encode a memory is spread thin across competing thoughts, the information is less likely to stick. This makes a quiet environment and single tasking a biological necessity for preserving new moments. However, this physical and chemical slowdown is not a one-way descent. The mind possesses a lifelong capacity called neuroplasticity, the ability to rewire, adapt, and build new physical connections well into old age. This chart shows the relationship between heart rate and brain health. Engaging in regular cardiovascular exercise increases blood flow to the brain, which correlates with a measured increase in the size of the hippocampus. Sleep also plays a structural role. The brain sweeps away metabolic waste accumulating throughout the day, ensuring the pathways of memory remain clear. Challenging the brain by learning a complex new skill forces neurons to bypass old limitations and forge new, robust networks. Biological aging is a universal reality, but the rate of change is not fixed. By understanding the brain's architecture, we can use specific physical and cognitive tools to influence how we preserve our memories as we age.